Here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation on this Sunday night. Knicks at home after a resilient bounce back, come from behind, epic win in Milwaukee. And they give up 126 points to the Cleveland Cavaliers. 126 points. And I'm gonna just cut the music right now, man, because I got something to say real quick, JD and Ash. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, Knicks post-game live presented by Manscaped, CP the Franchise, Ashley Moss, JD Sports Talk. I got to tell you, I'm tight right now, man. It is still early, but I'm going to tell you this right now. The way this Knicks perimeter defense is looking, it is going to be the reason why they do not get to that 50 burger, JD. It's going to be the reason why they do not have a successful season, because their perimeter defense is looking like Swiss cheese right now. And I see no answers in sight. Can't blame Kemba tonight. You give Ricky Rubio a career high of 37 points. 8 of 9 from downtown. My man was looking like a combination of John Stockton and Dame at times out there. Torched the Knicks. Absolutely torched the Knicks. There's no excuse for that. You want to tell me Ricky Rubio deserves a double team, even triple team? You can't make it up. You going to halftime tied up and you're thinking, okay, this is not a night where they're getting washed, where they got to come from behind until the third quarter of doom starts, and they get outscored 33-18 and get embarrassed. Absolutely embarrassed. So if you want to tell me it's early, okay, it's early. But from what I'm seeing, I do not see any hope in this perimeter defense. And once that breaks down, you can forget it. Because they played a team tonight with a big man in Evan Mobley who's going to be a star. Make no mistake. 26 points for him, 9 boards, 5 dimes, where him and Rubio's playing that 1-4, 1-5 pick and roll, and then it's layups from there. Absolute layups, because he can pass out of it. He can score out of it. Offensive rebounds. The Cavs are 9th in the league in offensive rebounds. So they're eating up the glass. You got Evan Mobley and Jared Allen looking like the Twin Towers out there. Cavs are a good team, make no mistake. But to give up 126 points to this team, Knicks got to do some soul searching, and they got to do it fast, because the East is not going to ease up on them. The Cavs are nice this year. The Raptors are nice this year. I think the Pacers will bounce back. We'll see where the Celtics are. The Hawks are coming back to the packs. There's going to be a lot of competition for playoff seeding. And if the Knicks do not get their act together now early, it's going to be a long season. JD, how you feeling, bro?
Well, I'm just as very disappointed. And you mentioned a lot of what the reality is, looks to be the reality with this team. In terms of the perimeter defense. And I know that, a perspective that we could have is it is early, but, if there's a certain skill set or flaw that a roster has, identifying it early or criticizing it now doesn't mean that it's going to get better, because, is Kemba going to become a solid defender? He's not. Is Rose going to be a better defender? He's not. And with Quickly, he is still improving defensively. He's actually been very solid in my opinion. But the problem is we're not even decent. So it's like we can't even play good perimeter defense in spurts, which was what my hope was. My hope was that with their offense being so much better on paper, that the defense will be up and down, but that they could clamp down in key situations, and then that will propel them to many wins this season. They're not even getting to that level. And if you're not a defense that you can't even clamp down in certain situations, and you're just bad for 48 minutes, you talked about the ECP, and I know there's been some disappointments with a few teams, but the whole East, The difference is it's competitive. So even
That's
the
right.
teams that are under 500 in terms of record, they still are playing well.
That's
You
right.
know, like there's no easy night. It's basically what I'm saying. And Ricky Rubio tonight, just for perspective, the last time that Ricky Rubio had a 30-point game was in February of 2018
There
when
it
he
is.
was part of the Utah Jazz. Also perspective, Ricky Rubio has only scored 30 points before tonight, 5 other times in 10 years. This is his 11th season.
10 years. He's a
His
good player, bro. We know
He's a
Rubio's a
solid
solid
player,
vet.
but he ain't that.
He
That's
ain't
not his
that.
life.
He's not
He ain't
that.
that.
He's
That's
not
what I'm saying.
that.
More perspective. You know, look what he did for the 3-point line tonight. Ricky Rubio has only shot 35% or more 2 times in
Yeah.
his in 11 seasons. So, I mean, when you look at Grayson Allen and you look at Ricky Rubio and you're looking at, you know, what you're doing with Terrence Ross in one quarter, like they're all, you know, perimeter players. And so the question now becomes, what do you do? Because, you know, and I had mentioned this, I know we want Rose to start. Everybody wants Rose to close and start, but Rose to me is not necessarily a defensive upgrade
He's
over
not.
Kemba.
He's not.
And you have to manage his minutes regardless. I think a positive, if you want to think of a positive, is Grimes. Grimes got some minutes, and let's see what happens. You know, you're gonna have to start thinking. And I know you had mentioned CP
Yeah.
that you're not with it. I don't know if this changes your mind.
No. I didn't say I wasn't with it. I just said I don't see Thibs going there that quickly. I saw Grimes getting those minutes tonight, and we want to get to Ash's points. I saw Grimes getting in tonight on the strength that Kemba got hurt. But would he have been in there had Kemba been healthy? I'm not so sure. Not so sure. You know, Ash, give me your thoughts on tonight.
Yeah, I mean, look, I did like the fact that Tibbs, you know, at some point in the game went with the Rugrats lineup, as I like to call it, a bunch of the young guys. I think that is definitely the spark, the change that the Knicks need to start experimenting with early in the season. You know, I do agree that if Kemba was in the game, I don't know if we would have saw that change, and that's something that's definitely concerning. Because like I said, this is the time to experiment. But outside of that, look, you look at all the points scored across the board. It was evenly dispersed for the most part. Yes, RJ had a bad night. So offensively, I'm not that upset. You know, they did get hot in spurts. They put up 109 points. Scoring was not necessarily the biggest issue in tonight's game. I'm going to go as far as saying it really wasn't the issue. For me, it's the defensive or lack there of defense. You can't give up 126 points to a squad. But also on top of that, I think for me, I'm also perplexed by the fact that we constantly allow players from opposing teams to have career games against the Knicks at home in the Garden. I mean, if you look at the defensive efforts throughout the game, I mean, you have Ricky Rubio out there looking like Steph Curry, and there's no type of adjustment on the defense to go ahead and make it so that they have to pass the rock out to somebody. But then also the scouting report is out there too, because a lot of teams know when you come into the Garden or when you're playing the Knicks in general, right? What happens is that they know if you take that 3 ball away from them, 9 times out of 10, you're going to win that game, right? It's much different than what we saw in the Milwaukee game. What happened when the threes weren't falling? You drove in the paint and you forced the Bucks to defend you. That was completely out of the equation today. You were settling for shots that you weren't getting. They were forcing you to take those shots because they knew that you weren't going to go ahead and contest them another type of way. And also, again, going back to that defense, you weren't putting any defense on top of the guys. You weren't making the shots hard for them. You weren't contesting. You were basically giving them the whole court out there. The entire court out there was for them, free range. They were out there playing with no problem. And you can't win basketball games like that. You just can't.
No resistance. No resistance. And again, you know, the people want to say, okay, it was Rubio. He had one of those nights. Again, Mobley put it on him. And yes, even though we did get 109 points out there, that Cavs defense is nice. They're 12th in the league. They swarm on the perimeter. I saw Osman playing well. I saw Sexton in his minutes. Sexton left a little bit early. Stevens was playing Randall well. You had Mobley forcing Randall to making some terrible shots, taking some terrible shots. And then they funnel everybody into the middle where you got the Twin Towers. They got a nice setup defensively. They even went into like a zone, JD. It looked like, I don't know, it was like a 2-1-2 zone where they had Mobley playing in the middle. They have a nice scheme. And they have a solid defense. So I understood why the Knicks were a bit apprehensive to go inside on them. The Cavs are number one in the league in terms of opponents' free throw attempts. So they play a disciplined defense and don't foul. And so their defense is pretty steady.
I think also, I mean, this is basketball 101. We know this. You know this if you play at the park, if you play at AAU, if you played at any level of the game. What do you do when there's a player on the opposing team that's hot? What is the first rule of defense? You double team him. You force it to another man that's open that may not be so hot. I mean, you're giving Ricky Rubio all day out there. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at these numbers. I mean, Evan Mobley is a different type of beast, right? Because if you take away his shot, he can drive it in the paint, but that's you want to give someone those shots. You make them work for him. You're giving these guys the court free range. I mean, Ricky Rubio, 37 and 10. It's not 2011. It's absolutely asinine that you're not even resulting back to basketball 101 and defending at the bare minimums, the basics. It's honestly, it's elementary, but it's also concerning that something that elementary doesn't come second nature to this team.
And you know, I thought the zone defense that the Cavs played was a schematic decision to combat RJ. And I don't know that many teams will do this, but you know, when you look at the matchups, I thought that RJ had a very favorable matchup tonight at the wing position. You know, Lauri Markkanen is out, and even if Lauri Markkanen was playing, that's a favorable matchup for RJ. And RJ has been improved attacking the basket. He's attacked the basket more. He tried it even some tonight. He wasn't successful. But, you know, you're a defense and you're looking at, you know, that matchup. You know, the Cavs are saying, you know what, let's force them into perimeter shots. Here's another reason why they played zone. They want to force Julius Randle to shoot more threes.
That's a fact.
Right? Why? Well, before last season, Julius Randle, we all know, shot 41% from three. But the 5 seasons before that, he was on average on 28%. So now, like, we're figuring out now is what type of three-point shooter is Randle actually going to be? Is he going to be closer to the 40% guy, or is he going to be in the low 30s? And if he's going to be in the low 30s, then now that's you may problem. See team. Yeah, that might be another issue to where now you're going to have to look at, okay, and I don't know how, I don't even know if they're going to make that adjustment, because they've already, you know, made the adjustment to shoot more threes as a team.
Yeah.
Which means you're going to have your 30%, you know, 30, 34, whatever he ends up being. But if he's not going to be that, what he was last season, you know, that's something that teams will definitely probably welcome. And so, you know, we saw it again tonight. He went 1 for 5 from three.
Yeah.
You know, RJ went 0 of 6. And at the end of the day, too, CP, even when you have someone else on the other team having that type of performance, if RJ is going to have the type of night that he's going to have tonight, you know, we gave him a lot of flowers, gave him a lot of love about terms of blossoming. He had an off night. It's going to be tough to win games that way anyway.
I give RJ the night off tonight. You know what I mean? He just didn't have it. I thought he had some shots in rhythm. He just wasn't cooking tonight. Knicks overall shot 29% from downtown, Ash. 9 of 31. And then conversely, yes, the Cavs were on point. 54% from downtown, 19 of 35. Seemed like everyone they took, they were knocking them down. So again, it was one of those nights offensively. For both teams. You know, the Cavs were hot and the Knicks weren't. And you know, second game in a row where they weren't cooking from downtown. So, again, disappointing there. I think if we look at some positives, and salute to everybody in the chat once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. If you look at some positives, I thought that second unit did their best to get us back into the game. Again, after we got outscored 33-18, went into the fourth quarter down by like 14-15, I thought Obi and IQ were solid for us out there. Quentin Grimes came out there. He knocked down a 3. You know, again, did his best defensively, but that wasn't there. But really, it was IQ and Obi really forcing the issue. IQ, again, Ash, got a steal. Forced some turnovers. The floater was falling. The three-point shot from the elbow was falling. I thought Obi was excellent as an attacker. In the first half, he was attacking the basket, scoring on layups. In the second, he was attacking, but really passing, you know, as he drove to the rim, trying to collapse the defense. Thibs takes him out, you know, late in the game. Obviously, we know what that's about. You know, it was unfortunate to see Obi have to lead the game because I thought he really did his best to get us back into this thing.
No, absolutely. Look, at the end of the day, you know, offensively, this isn't a game that I'm going to say, oh, we lost this because of offense. I mean, like I said, you put up 109 points. You try to go on as many runs as you can. Playing from behind, I say this all the time. Playing from behind is debilitating. It's hard. It puts extra strain on your bodies. It puts extra strain on the momentum that you have to have, because now you're not only trying to win and make smart shots, but you're also trying to constantly bridge that gap. And at the end of the day, look, defense is a series of chain reactions, right? You have to go ahead and stop the point guard from penetrating. Otherwise, everything else just kind of falls apart around it, because you're going to head. You have everybody scrambling, trying to help and figure out what to do next. And it's just, we constantly see this pattern from the Knicks. And also, look, Thibs doesn't escape fault here. Thibs is not is not absolute from this conversation, because what happens is you see what's unfolding on the court. You see what's happening in front of you. You see Rubio is shooting the lights out, and the scheme should be to double him. And it shouldn't have been doubling him in the fourth quarter. It shouldn't have been doubling him in the third quarter. It should have been doubling him at the immediate moment that you saw this man has the hot hand. Force it to somebody who's not shooting like that. You're giving Ricky Rubio an entire court, an entire playground, and you're not making any adjustments.
With him out there.
Absolutely. It got to a point that he knows that you cannot stop him. Man. And it's absolutely asinine to me that the adjustments are just not there. From a coaching standpoint, you're watching what's happening in front of you, and yet you still have not made the proper adjustments. And we see what happens when he does make the adjustments. Look at the Milwaukee game. And then you see what happens when he doesn't. Look at this game. It's just this crazy sequence of events from him, where he's constantly doing the same thing and expecting different results. And it's almost like he adjusts, but it's too late. And then it's like, okay, well, the games are already away from you at that point.
Yeah.
Facts. That's an excellent point, Ash. In terms of, because I did think that he tried to make an adjustment, but as you mentioned, it was too late. Like, he tried to double late in the fourth at that point. And he had 10 assists, and you saw a couple plays where when they tried to double, he torched the double team by, finding someone open. Our rotation is late. But at that point, trying to make an adjustment at that point, this guy's confidence is so high. Like, when you're a player and you get into that zone, there comes a point in the game where you see the floor differently. The basket is much bigger.
Wide open. Like, it's an ocean.
There's nothing you can do. So I 100% agree with Ash in terms of, the lack of adjustments. And we said, we said that this season that, Thibs is going to be someone that we're going to look at in terms of, we understand coach of the year and all that stuff, respect the coach. But there's one part of criticism that he's faced in the past, and that's, the adjustment department. We saw it in the playoffs, and Ash was talking about even the previous games before. How about Miles Turner? When Miles Turner gets hot and you don't mix it up. We talked about bringing different options, different ways of just attacking Miles Turner. Tonight, you see Ricky Rubio gets hot, but not only hot, he's getting hot.
Let's real quick before you finish your thought, let's go ahead and look at the drastic difference between Miles Turner and Ricky Rubio. Ricky Rubio is a crafty scorer. I will give him that, but he's slow. And the fact that you can't stop someone as slow as Ricky Rubio from penetrating is a concern. That's not Steph Curry.
That's why I think you saying adjustments to Thibs. Thibs is probably sitting there looking like, I don't need to double this guy.
That's what I'm saying. He's a crafty player, but he is slow. And the fact, as a coach, you can't see that and say, you know what? Yeah, he's scoring on us, but he's not that quick. So let's go ahead and it's crazy to me that it takes you that long to make the proper adjustment when you're standing there and you're seeing it unfold in front of you.
Right. And one adjustment they could have made. All right, you bring Grimes in, bigger body, stronger player, but then he's not really picking up 94 feet. So, why not play denial basketball, pressure him from the jump. And by the time he crosses half court, he makes the first pass, you have 15 seconds on the shot clock. Right. So you're shortening the shot clock. You're shortening the action, and you're putting more pressure on them being able to make decisions on offense. You didn't do that. And you just didn't make any adjustments on time. You allow them to get hot, and, you saw it. Some of the threes he was hitting after that. You allow it to get to that point, then it doesn't matter. So it's something that we're going to continue to watch with Thibs is, what is he going to do? This is going to be an issue with the point guard position. Kemba didn't play tonight, and we got another point guard that cooked us. So
got cooked.
we're gonna see if he's gonna make some adjustments. I also didn't like Burks playing the point guard. I didn't like that.
I told you that was gonna happen, bro.
Yeah, and I thought
I told you that was
and that's the
gonna
thing. And that's the thing. We see some of these things happening, but when it actually happens, it's still a head scratcher.
Yeah.
You know, and we thought maybe a night like tonight, maybe Deuce comes in early, maybe Grimes comes in earlier.
Yeah.
Right. And none of that happened. He actually just shortened the rotation, played Burks as a point guard, and I didn't like that, man.
I think what also is confusing to me is that I know it's still early in the season, so a lot of this is going to be premature, but patterns are something that you can kind of see unfold very early on in the season. And with this Knicks team, we're seeing them revert back to an old pattern where they're kind of getting away from their identity, right? Because you see them win games, lose games, win games, lose games. Look at the Orlando Magic. You won, then you lost at home.
Yeah.
Look at the Toronto Raptors game. You lost, then you won. Look at the game against the Milwaukee Bucks, the reigning champs. This is not a team that is just a nobody squad. This is the team that hoisted a trophy last year. You beat them coming back from a 21-point deficit just to go ahead and get it handed to you at home against the Cleveland Cavaliers team that's talented, but not nearly as talented as the Milwaukee Bucks. It's this constant up and down,
Yeah.
and there's no concrete foundation, gravitational pull back to your identity to kind of center this team, and it's concerning.
It's a good point. Good points. And we're going to get to the phones in a second. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. It's frustrating loss, you know, especially on the strength that tomorrow you facing a Philadelphia team that's going to be out for revenge at home, coming off of a high, beating the Bulls on the road, Doc getting his 1,000th career win. So they're going to be coming in on a high, looking to kick our ass early, man. So this is why, again, this is a good Cavs team. Not going to take anything away from them. This was a game that I was concerned about on the schedule, JD. I think we had talked about that on last week's episode of Knicks Weekly. You know, this is a Cavs team that held the Hawks to under 100. I think they held them to 95. They held the Denver Nuggets to 87. So, again, not to be slept on. The Cavs have some quality wins on their schedule, and they just got another one against this Knicks team in Madison Square Garden. Once again, salute to everybody in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button for your squad. Man, I got the whole new studio, whole new set. I was ready to debut after a win in a good mood. I'm in a foul mood today, people. I'm in a foul mood, but shout out to my guy, Angel. Not that Angel, not the simp Angel. My guy, Angel, who's Team KnicksFanTV, another producer on our team. Came through and hooked up the set, man. Brand new camera, lights, everything like that. Made some more audio upgrades as well. I think the phones are going to come in a lot more louder and on the level. So how is the audio? You know, I know last time me and JD's audio was kind of uneven. So I think I was able to fix that as well. Let me know how the audio is, people in the chat. But yeah, man, set is looking crispy.
I do like the blue light.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I got some
fresh
gadgets in here, man. I'm gonna show you a little thing or two real quick. What I could do with the lights. Hang on one second. You know, so right now I got my Nick blue light set up, and show you a little thing right here. You know, if I want to go a little bit different, you know, I could switch it up to the forest green. You know what I'm saying? I can go Nick orange if I wanted to. You know, we could go desert. It's cool. You know, maybe if we get a super chat, we go meteor. All right, so, hey, this is what you people at home pay for. When you guys send in the super chat, you send in the donations, man. We investing it back into the show and upgrading everything. Go ahead, JD.
Even the camera looks crispier.
The camera's crispy, man. Camera's crispy. New lens. We in HD. We got CP in HD 4K. So let's go, man. Couple more upgrades to go, but we cooking right now.
Hey, at least the Giants won today. Shout out to the Cowboys.
If your team won today, JD, raise your hand. Raise your hand if your team won today.
My hand is up.
Yeah, my hand's up, buddy.
Where's Ash?
I got one too.
Yeah.
If your team's actually going to make the playoffs, raise your hand.
Ash, let me just get this one tonight, all right? Knicks lost. We had a good game. Let me just get this one. One step at a time.
Whatever floats your boat.
Thank you. One step at a time. Let me get to Jay Boogie early, man. Dave let me know that Jay Boogie wants to get in early because he's not too happy right now. So let's get to him. Jay Boogie from North Carolina. Jay Boogie, what's going on?
From the closer to the opener.
Still got to run that down. Shout out to everybody rocking
Oh,
inside.
J Boogie, we
Continue
losing.
on,
J
really
Boogie, hold
doing
on.
what you
J Boogie, hold on. We losing you, man. Try to call in on the Discord because we gotta make sure that we get you every word bar for bar on point. So call back. Try to call back on the Discord if you can, or call back on the phones because your connection's not good.
I got you.
All right. All right, we're gonna get back to J Boogie. Lawrence from the Bronx. Lawrence, what's going on?
How you doing, guys?
Good, man.
Thanks
What's
for
going
taking
on?
my call. I basically want to talk about the third quarter. It's like we didn't have anything. Thibs, he gotta make those adjustments. It's like when everybody's clanking, they standing around, they missing everything. He gotta start pulling guys. I understand he gave starters and it's Randall's team, but we gotta start getting different bodies in there, see who has it for the night.
Yeah, I don't even think Obi saw the third quarter at all.
Yeah, because, he's robotic. Obi comes in at the 130 mark. Quickly comes in at the 430 mark. It's like when we're struggling, forget the robotic stuff. Let's start getting guys in and out and see who has it for the night. And that's about it. Thanks for taking my call.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, Lawrence. Yeah, listen, I would have loved. I loved Obi's activity tonight from beginning to end, man. I would have loved to see more minutes from him because he was really aggressive, really trying to make things happen, really forcing the issue. As I said, he's finishing well at the rim. I got to look up the stats. I don't know. I don't have the stats in front of me, JD, but just seems like from the eye test that Obi's really finishing at the rim very well this year and being very aggressive. And then again in the fourth quarter, he was really trying to be a playmaker out there for them and drawing fouls as well. So shout out to Obi, man. 4 of 4 from the field tonight, 3 of 3 from the line, 11 points plus 5 on the night. I thought Obi was good for us.
And how many minutes though? 11 minutes.
11 minutes.
We
11
talk
minutes.
about we continue to talk about the adjustments. Are you going to be one of those stick to the script type coaches?
Yeah.
Where a player comes in, gives you energy, is 4 for 4. He's perfect from the field. He's finishing at the rim. The team is playing with higher energy when he's on the court. Mm-hmm. Yes, we understand Randall's ahead of him. We understand you made the investment in him. Like you said in your post-game recap, the politics and all that. But at the same time, you're trying to win basketball games. Mm-hmm. And it's okay in one game of 82 to say, you know what, Randall, you're not going to play 30-plus minutes tonight. Tonight, you're going to play 25, or whatever the case may be, right? Like, come on, let's go with the flow of rhythm. Let's go with the rhythm of the game. Someone's playing well. Give him 2-3 more minutes. Yeah. He misses 2 shots. All right, now let's go back to the script. Like when you don't do these things, they're very questionable, and we'll see how it goes.
That's one of the things too. We've alluded to this kind of even in the games that we have won. It's just this concept, in games where you're leading by 20 points and there's 2 minutes left in the game. Why is Randall still out on the court? It's games where, maybe he's not hot. Why are we running the offense through him? It's a concerning thing to not have the gravitas to kind of figure out when and how you should utilize a player. And I understand, it's the ideology that he is the player. He is the star. He is the guy. So he has to play all the minutes, regardless of what he looks like and what he doesn't look like and what he's doing, what he isn't doing. But sometimes the best thing you can do as a coach is realize when a player does not have it, when it's just not his night, and go ahead and remove him from that situation. It's no different than when you're a player and you're on the court and you realize it's not your night. Sometimes the best thing you can do as a teammate is just pass the rock. You don't have the shot. You don't have to take the shot. You don't have the hot hand. Pass the rock. Unless it's a wide open shot, pass the rock. And the same thing with Thibs. Yeah. Put him on the bench. If he's not playing the way he should be playing, there is not. Listen, Julius Randle is a grown man. His ego will be okay if he's not playing 45 minutes every single game. If he played 45 minutes one game and now he's playing 30, he'll be okay. He's paid a lot of money and he'll be fine. You can't go ahead and utilize someone constantly just because you think you have to. And that is also something that has to be adjusted from a coaching standpoint.
Let me shout out some of the super chats that have come in. Shout out to the Rhyme Animal, Chuck D. Everybody in the chat, throw a hashtag PE in the chat. He says, we just got fried by the 3 beyond defense. They were on smash, and we were bricking in that third quarter. They hit amazing shots, and while Jared Abdul-Jabbar was beasting down low, and Mobley and Rubio, that one area won and lost the game, in my opinion. So Chuck thinks it was won and lost on the three-point line. I could definitely agree with that. Man, they got themselves a formidable Twin Towers, though, man. I'll tell you that. between
Jared Allen
between
outplayed
Allen and
Knicks
Mobley.
tonight.
Yeah. You know, and you know Block Ness is my guy, but you know him and Noel got burned. They got burned tonight, man. Mobley's incredible as a rookie.
He's going to be a good player.
He's gonna be nice. He's gonna be nice. I mean, you saw he got post moves. You know, he had the turnaround jump hook going, and then a play before that, I seen him just leave Mitch in the dust on the perimeter, and yammed it in. So he's kind of like a hybrid, like Bosh, Katie. I don't know, man, but he's a good player. Absolutely solid player. So
I also,
good pickup.
on the Julius thing real quick, going back to that, you know, half of that is Thibs, but then also there's another half of it where we talk about this with RJ and what his strength is that's beyond his years. And that is the fact that RJ has the ability to see when a game is unfolding a certain type of way. And what I mean by that is RJ has the ability to quickly realize it's not my night from an offensive standpoint, but I can be a beast on defense, or vice versa. Or he always figures out where he can go ahead and fit into the game that's unfolding in front of him that night. With Julius, sometimes you notice it, is Julius gets very flustered. If Julius doesn't have a shot, if Julius isn't having a good night, it's almost like he abandons every other part of the game.
Like his defense.
And he thinks that, okay, well, I'm useless, so I might as well just go ahead and do what I want to do while I'm out on the court, because nothing. And it's like there's so many different aspects and avenues of a game that you can be part in changing and ultimately bringing into a win. And it seems like he doesn't have that click in his head where it's like, okay, you know what? Scoring is not my night tonight. Yo, I can't hit the side of a bus. Not doing it. Let me go ahead and be a beast on defense for these guys. Let me go ahead and assist.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, Derrick Rose has the hot hand, or RJ Barrett has the hot hand. He doesn't have that click. And I don't know how you get that click, but it's just not there.
Yeah, it's preaching tonight. That's a fact. And you know, once the perimeter defense breaks down, that's the problem, because they're so disconnected from their rotation standpoint that everything just breaks down. It's done. Once that guard blows past them on the screen or whatever the case may be, forget about it. It's a layup. And now you start doubling Rubio, somebody's open. So he's going to Mobley in the paint. Mobley's he's going to the wing, somebody for a three-pointer, or he's laying it up, dunking it in himself, or throwing it to Allen, who's yamming it on Derrick Rose. So, you know, things are just breaking down all over the place on the defensive end. So definitely a concern, even though it's early in the season. All right, back to the phones we go. Let me check if Jay Boogie is on the Discord, because I want to get to him. He wanted to get in early. I see him. All right, let me get him in on the Discord. Jay Boogie, hold up. Let me get Jay Boogie in here. Jay Boogie, live and direct on the Discord. Jay Boogie going once. Should be able to hear him. All right, can't hear Jay Boogie on the Discord. Dave, go back to him and just make sure that that his audio is good. I will go back to the phones. Kevin from Connecticut. Kevin, what's going on?
Hey guys, great show as always.
Thanks, man.
Oh my God.
CP,
It's like a funeral in here.
Studio's looking great.
Appreciate it, man.
Hey, so I just it's tough, man. I hate hearing Thibs kind of be thrown a little bit under the bus tonight. You know, I mean, when Rubio does a career night like that, and CP, you just said it, man. You double him, and he's got tons of guys still making shots out there. So I just kind of felt like it's one of those nights where it just felt like we're playing whack-a-mole here, you know?
Yeah, it was.
But I do, on that one other thing that I do agree with you guys on is just the fact that I think Obi, the one thing with Thibs, I just feel like Obi is ready to have one of those breakout nights. Tonight could have been it, man. I felt like this guy's going to go for 20, and if you leave him in. But it just, you know, Thibs is Thibs, and so to that end, I do agree. I feel like he's got to be a little more, I think the word is pliable, you know, when it comes to just riding a hot hand, especially a guy like Obi. Just like you just know he's just on that verge of the breakout, you know. And even if you lose the game, you still feel good if Obi puts up 23 points, something like that, you know.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I was hoping that Obi could have finished that game, honestly. I didn't think Julius had it going. I thought their defense on him was great. I thought Mobley was forcing him into a ton of bad shots. And overall, he just had no flow to his game or the offense at large. And I thought Obi was really doing well as a scorer and a facilitator. And they had nobody who could check him. You know, he was the one guy that could get his drives off at will and get to the cup. So, you know, again, just that dynamic where Thibs doesn't want to play them together because the defense is so bad. So I don't know. I'm not so sure where we're going to go from there. Angel from Philly. Angel, what's going on?
Yo, what's good, CP,
Angel,
JD, Ash, how y'all doing?
Good, man.
Hi.
Hey, listen, I know we all down, so I'm about to preach some positive, you feel me? But first thing first, CP, that your room, it looked dope, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Appreciate you,
That
bro.
thing looks fire. And,
Appreciate you.
And hey, listen, when it comes to this game, man, you know, obviously, you know, a lot of players, you know, it's a 3-point shooting league, man. You know, so players are gonna make shots. But this is my main concern, all right? For the last 3 home games, we've averaged 116 points given up. When you look at the teams that we've been playing the last 4 games, the Cavs, they made 19 threes. The Bucks, they made 16. The Pacers made 16. Toronto made 14 threes. You ain't beating nobody in the playoffs or even regular season games if you're giving up an average of 16 threes a game, bro. Like, at the end of the day, it's not just about the effort. Where's the hustle at? Both of them aren't there, especially when we're at home. People, when they come to the Garden, they get up to play at the Garden. We got to protect home court and stop playing to the level of these competition. You feel me? Like, it doesn't make sense that we can beat Philly and then we can beat the Bucks, but yeah, we can't beat Orlando or we can't beat the Cavs. I'm not saying that the East hasn't gotten better, but let's be honest, these teams aren't making the playoffs, bro. We are. But right now, if we're going to play defense like this,
I wouldn't be so sure, bro.
We're not going to go anywhere. It's just like the transition defense. We're leaving guys wide open for threes or layups. Like, we have to get back on defense. And then, you know, we got our rebounded by, 17 tonight? I mean, give me a break, bro. Like, it's not just Rubio going off. We're not rebounding the ball either. And then when it comes to, you know, Randall for Obi in the fourth quarter, just stick with Obi. I mean, like, the second bench honestly played better. Now, you could win games not shooting threes because we just did that losing to the Bucks. But at the end of the day, man, you got to play with the hot hand, man. The hot hand tonight was the bench, bro. And I don't care what anyone says. Philly, you still suck. We're going to beat you tomorrow. That's just the way I feel. And, you know, I'm going to make sure I call tomorrow when we get that W. So, JD, I want my Philly cheesesteak tomorrow. So, you know, I'm going to keep that grill, you know, up, bro. And, Ashley, you know, keep doing your thing, and I'm proud of you. And, you know, I'll talk to you guys next time. And y'all have a good night. Peace.
Angel putting things in perspective.
It's gonna be tough though tomorrow because you know
it's gonna be very tough.
To you know, I guess looking back now, that Philly win, it was definitely a better win than how, you know, many were evaluating at that time because of, you know, Ben Simmons being out. But look at their record now. They've beaten the Bulls. I think they beat the Bulls twice already.
Yep.
And you know, and now, you know, they have more chemistry playing without Ben Simmons, and they're definitely going to be looking for payback. So
yeah, definitely.
That's why I kind of didn't agree with Kemba sitting out tonight, because you're looking at that Philly game, you're like, it's going to be tough. I thought tonight was a good matchup for Kemba in terms of offensively, because the Cavs guards aren't strong defenders. But, you know, I understand why as well. Division game. They're a tough team. This is probably the plan anyways. They're probably not even looking at it from a matchup standpoint. They're just gonna, you know, say, well, the first game of the back-to-back, you're gonna sit out, and then we'll play you on the second end.
Yeah.
So
true story.
We'll see what happens tomorrow.
True indeed, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. Shout out to CP's Manscaped Razor in the chat. Yes, that is his name. I don't know who that is or who changed the name to that.
I thought that was your burner account.
Yeah, it might be. It might be my burner account. But they said, damn, Angel not even flirting tonight. The season's over. So shout out to CP's Manscaped Razor. And once again, people, as always, KnicksFanTV is presented by Manscaped, #1 men's grooming tool below the waist. Fellas, go out there and go get that lawnmower 4.0. You know the ladies will love it, man. Great Christmas gift. Great gift to throw under the tree. So go to manscaped.com, enter promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. So shout out to CP's Manscaped Razor. We got some representation in the chat. So shout out to them. All right, let me go back to the phone, see if Jay Boogie's on right now. I don't see him. All right, let's go back to the Discord. Ashwin, you up next on the
I
Discord.
thought you said Ashley. I said I'm right
No,
here.
Ashwin on the Discord,
Ashwin.
live and direct. Ashwin going once. Yo, what's up, bro?
Hey guys,
How you doing, man?
good morning. At least for me, I'm calling from India. It's currently 8:13 a.m. here.
Let's go. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah, a little bit of waking up at 4:30 a.m.
We live and
putting alarm-
direct in India. Let's go. Is this your first time calling?
Yeah, it's first time.
Nice. Okay, well, welcome to the show, man. What's going on? How you feeling tonight?
Thanks, man. Yeah, I think like you guys all said, but I'm gonna point out that I think most of it goes to Thibs. See, obviously, OB out of all rookies is basically my favorite right now. And the way he was playing, Thibs took him out. After that timeout, I was like so frustrated. But that's okay. I mean, okay, he did that. But and Ricky Rubio apparently turns into a god for this single game. It's frustrating how apparently a single player of all these weak teams that we have lost, a single player has destroyed the games for us.
Yeah.
That's okay. I mean, but I don't think this is gonna be too much bad because for tomorrow's match, actually, Sixers are a good matchup for us because Sixers mainly have the Joel Embiid. And Mitch is a very good matchup for him. So Sixers won't be that much be a problem. But like Jared Allen and Mobley, they were big and fast, unlike Mitch Robinson. So he was jumping once, then he couldn't get back for another second time for the rebound because he has put on so much weight. That's okay. But the thing is that one thing I want to make a prediction, but it will come with a hitch. After today's game, if Tom Thibodeau's mind strikes a little bit, he will put Grimes in games in later seasons in many more matches.
He's gonna have to
because. Hello?
Yeah, you there? I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying he's gonna have to, man, because this perimeter defense has been sloppy.
Because Derrick Rose is a little bit better defender than Kemba Walker, but some days Derrick Rose's game might not be there, so he might not play the fourth quarter. And in upcoming seasons or even in playoffs, when games are much more in line, you can't go with Kemba for the defense. So Grimes has to be there. And today, first 3-point he made a air ball, but he hit the rest too, and he was doing very good in defense. So I think if Thibs gets some bits, gets a little bit out of his, his stubbornness, then he will start putting Grimes in the fourth quarter. And I think next young team like Quickly, OB, RJ, and Grimes, they're gonna be very good in later season. They will be very good.
They're giving you fives in the call.
We got
so
fives
good
in the call for Ashwin. The first time caller is getting fives. You're getting a 5-star call tonight, man. You're spitting bars tonight, bro.
Thank you, man.
Salute.
That's all I have to say.
Yeah, man. Call back anytime, man. Good morning to our friends in India. Let's go.
And I believe it's still Diwali, so happy holidays to them.
Okay, Ash in a culture bag. All right, let's go. Yeah. Let's get it.
That's how you make your debut.
That's how you make your debut, man. Came in spitting bars, bro.
Right, absolutely. And piggybacking off what he said with being in favor of playing Grimes or some of the young players. That's the thing, because I know some fans are going to start to think, if this thing, continues, the easy answer is, who can we trade for? And what player out there can we get? Well, before we get to that point, you have to check what you have.
You got to evaluate what you have. Yep.
You got some draft equity there sitting, and their early strengths are on the defensive end. And they both have proven, at least in the offseason, even Grimes has proven in a few games. It's not like he's getting many attempts, but he's proven to hit a 3 in an NBA game. Right. And so I'm hoping that if Thibs is going to pivot soon and give spot minutes to some of these players, don't wait till a guard goes off before you do that. You know why, CP? Because these are still rookies. Just because Grimes can play defense, McBride can play defense, they're still rookies. Yeah. They're still understanding NBA defense. They're understanding the way that they're refereeing the game.
That's right.
And when you put Grimes on Rubio in the fourth quarter after he gets hot,
it's a lot to put on.
Sometimes, you're not putting that player in the best position to succeed. And sometimes a veteran like Rubio, who's crafty, understands angles, knows how to get his shots, sometimes they could even make a rookie that's a good, that you can get schooled. So I'm hoping that, he doesn't wait until someone goes off before you start giving some of these players minutes. Get them in the flow, get them some confidence going so that you can maximize their potential.
100% facts. 100% facts, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. CP, Ashley Balls, JD Sports Talk. Rapping on these Knicks, man. 126-109 loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers. If this is your first time in the chat, leave us a hashtag new in the chat. We'll shout you guys out. We just heard from my guy, Ashwin, checking in from India. So good morning to our people out in India. But yeah, man, drop a hashtag new in the chat if this is your first time watching the show. Also, the merch. So the merch store is down. We got to reboot it up and get it back up and running. But make no mistake, the merch is going to be back up and running in some time. In the near future. Just got some hoodies in the mail today. Hoodies are coming in hot and fresh. It is hoodie season, fellas, so definitely want to go out and get those. And then woke up this morning and got a DM from the Block Nest Monster, Mitchell Robinson. Yes, quick flex. And Mitch said, yo, we got to make a new shirt. So you guys know the Mitch Please joints were very popular amongst the fan base. We had those rocking for like 2 years. So the new collaboration, the Mitch Please KFTV shirts are going to be on the way, man. So definitely stay tuned for that. Shout out to the Block Nest Mods and Mitchell Robinson, man. New shirts coming soon.
Well, that camera's crispy, CP. I think Alan Hahn motivated you.
He did, man. Solo came through and flexed on me, man. He was in AK. You know what I mean? So, like I said, man, we got to upgrade the set. A couple more upgrades that we got to make. But, this is what we do, man. We giving back. The people have given a lot to us. We crossed 44,000 subscribers over the weekend. So, the train is still running, man. It's a freight train. You can't stop us. Let's go. All right, let's get back to the phones we go. LB live from Harlem. LB, what's going on?
Yo, what's going on, fellas? How you doing? Great show, man.
Good. How you feel, man?
I'm a girl.
We got Ash in here too, man. The squad is in here.
All right, what's going on, ladies? How you doing? All right. Listen, man, I just think it's simple, man. This is the league, man. This is the NBA, man. You can't come in there and thinking that you're just going to be smoking teams every night. Perfect example. We came off a big win on Friday. So now everybody thought it was going to be an easy win on Sunday. Mm-hmm. And that's not what happens. You know what I'm saying? So you got to really understand that, listen, all them cats on the bench, they get $1 million too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't no bums. And I think the misconception is that there's no gimmies anymore. Them days is over. You know what I'm saying? Them gimmies is over. So perfect example. Look at who their starting point guard was. Who's Garland? Who's that? I never seen that cat before. A couple of them other dudes, but they was hitting shots.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, Garland's nice now. I mean, don't sleep. Garland's nice. I mean, he was the fourth pick. He got picked after RJ, right? He was fourth pick, right?
Right. But what I'm saying is that he's not known in the league. Like, no one's he's not like, like a legit star and, none of those other things. So people kind of forget about him because he's kind of lost in Cleveland, right? So you kind of get the perception, okay, we got these guys. There's no gimmies anymore, man. So you have to understand Rubio's a proven pro.
Yeah.
And as you guys know, if you're a good ball player, your game's going to travel. It don't matter if you're in the church league, you're in the Rucker, you're in the Drew league. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So Rubio just pretty much showed that I'm a pro. You know what I mean? So any given night, if I get hot, that's it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's just the league, man. It happens. RJ had a tough night. Does that mean we trade RJ? No, he just had a rough night.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happens in the NBA, man. That's just the league.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, but listen, we can make it up on Monday. You know what I mean? I got to take it to Harlem. You know, money making Mitch. You know
Let's
what I'm
go.
saying? He gonna
Let's go.
lock down and Embiid on Monday clamps.
Yeah.
And that's it, man. But that's my call, man. I appreciate y'all. All right.
No doubt. LB up in Harlem. Shout out to Harlem World, Uptown, Harlem, USA. What's going on? A couple new viewers in the chat, guys. I want to shout out LK Keys, new from Ohio. So I don't know. They must be a Cavs fan, so they must be happy to be here. Eddie Marr, new in the chat. Eddie Marr, what's going on? S. Holden, how you feeling? Ash, who you want to shout out in the chat tonight?
I know I don't want to shout out. Don't want to shout out all the Giants fans in the chat.
Let's go. Big Blue.
No, but shout out to everyone rocking with us. We got over 1,000 people in the chat. I know games that we lose are not the most fun, but obviously this is when we can really see who the real ride or die fans are. So I'm just going to shout out some people whose names are popping up right now. Shout out to Edwin Santana. Shout out to Bernard Williams. Shout out to Diego Thomas, Chris C in the chat, Rich Boy in the chat, S. Holden in the chat, Eddie Marr in the chat, Jay Rockland in the chat, Junior Caroma, who's got a Giants logo.
Yeah,
in the
Junior.
chat.
Yeah, that's my guy. Big win today, Junior.
Fishers. Shout out to everybody, rocking with us tonight on a Sunday after a loss.
Shout out to John L as well. JD, who you want to shout out, man?
Definitely shout out to Junior. Giants.
Yeah, holding it down, man.
Shout
Big
out
to
the mods,
Yeah,
TM, the Shells, Eric L Beats. Shout out to the Fishers, Brian Rodriguez, Joanna, and
Joanna.
Let's go.
Yeah, Joanna, and Andrew H, Sheik, Daniel, Bernard Williams, everyone else that's coming through, as Ash said, over 1,000 on a loss. I mean,
let's do it.
Gotta be impressed, man. This fan base definitely has the most passion in the NBA. So
absolutely,
let's get it back tomorrow.
Let's get it back tomorrow, man. We're gonna take a couple more calls and then wrap, because we do got a game tomorrow as well. Definitely want to shout out some more super chats that are coming. Shout out to my guy Abdul checking in from the West Coast Knicks representing, and his super chat says. Just waiting for it to load. He says, horrible loss tonight. Giants won. Cowboys got worked. Evan started off hot, then disappeared. Obi quickly. Grimes gave us a boost. Let's gear up for tomorrow. Congrats on 44K subscribers. Shout out to my guy Abdul out in San Diego. And yeah, JD, that was, I guess, a first half positive was, it seems like every time we come on the show and we take one of these players to task, they always show up the next game. It's very odd. It's almost like they're watching the show. So last game, it was 48. Remember I told you, I said 48 has that type of game where it's like some nights you don't even know he's there, i.e., the Bucks game. Tonight came out with aggression, looked good in the first half, 15 points overall. Again, wasn't enough to help us in the second, but I thought Fournier started off well tonight.
Yeah, and there's one guy that's not watching the show, evidently, and it's shocking. It's your boy.
Your boy.
Man, my guy.
Take a wild guess, Ash.
My guy Burks missed the fourth quarter. We're gonna get right, man. We're gonna get right. Only 1 for 2 from downtown, 10 points. Shots been struggling, 2 of 7. We'll be there. We'll get right. Don't worry about it, man. We'll get right.
And I think that was part of the decision to make him that backup point guard is kind of Thibs. I see the thinking. I still question the move, but I see the thinking.
Yeah.
Let's we talked about in his role when Rose is on the bench, and then now he has to play. Has to play kind of that stand around role. And Burks is a guy that needs the ball to really maximize his offensive versatility. Mm-hmm. And the thinking was probably, let's give him the ball more. He's the backup point guard, and maybe he'll get going. He had 10 points, but weren't really impactful. So
yeah, it wasn't.
But hey, what he has on his side, he's a veteran, and by being a veteran, we all know Thibs is going to give him every single opportunity. Yeah. To fail. So hopefully, he plays well tomorrow. He starts to get it going, because it looks like quickly is starting to get it going.
That was encouraging.
A positive
that was encouraging. 12 points for Quick tonight. I thought the floater had it going. He went 2 for 5 from downtown, 2 elbow threes. I thought he attacked the paint well. I like Quick, and then forced the turnover. Again, forced another turnover like he did in the Milwaukee game. So got one key steal to spur that run. So great job by IQ as well in the loss. So Yeah, you're just going to have to bounce back tomorrow night, man. More super chats have come in. Shout out to Anointed 4D. Says the defense is frustrating to watch. They help out too much. Why the three stay open, and Randall definitely got to get his head in the game and stop forcing it. I'm really upset with the way we play. Shout out to Michael West for the super chat. Russell Whiskey super chat says perimeter D sucks and we're on pace for a 49-33 record. This is who this season's Knicks are. Not contenders, but making progress. We'll get there. Gotcha Open says CP just leave the TLC red light special off. James Nuns in the super chat says I expected a low seed in the East, but with the East being even better than expected, our defense and discipline being much worse, we're in trouble. Junior Caroma super chat says, I think y'all got to relax. I mean, the way they looked against the Bucks made me realize how much of a good team the Knicks are. Bad loss, but it happens. Yeah, but I mean, Junior, you also forgetting they were getting scrubbed out by the Bucks by 21 points. You know, you can't.
And let's not ignore the fact that although they did fight back from a 21-point deficit and only down 7 at the half, a lot of that has to do with the fact that Chris Middleton was not in that game. Let's not. We did what you're supposed to do is when you're facing a really good basketball team that's at a deficit, you strike. We just happened to strike a little bit later than we probably should have. Yeah. And we walked away with a win off of grit. But let's not ignore the facts of what got us there. That's what we're not going to do.
I mean, this team was bombing away from three. Go ahead, JD. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm saying it's a weird way of. I still don't know who this team is.
Yeah, we don't know.
You know, that's part of, you know, Ashley just mentioned, you don't know what could have happened. You know, Middleton was out. We got the win, great win. However, we're now, I believe, 2-3 at home at Madison Square Garden. Good. We're 2-3. Man. And if you want to go further than that, you know, obviously you've seen the bad losses that we've had at home. But then you know, that first game against Boston, look what happened there. That was at home, but that could have been a loss too. So we're still trying to see what this team is. And obviously it's difficult when it's only, you know, 9-10 games. So I'm hoping that they can get a W tomorrow. And, you know, as the games go on, we'll start to find out what's the true identity of this team. Because I think this coach is also a little bit, you know, conflicted on what to do because, you know, of the flaws, the obvious flaws that we're seeing.
Agreed wholeheartedly.
What's going on over there? Is Morpheus coming back for you to take you back into the Matrix? What's going on
over there? He's 2 seconds away from entering that time portal, Ash. We lost him.
What's happening?
We lost him a couple weeks ago to the Matrix.
Is the upside down coming for you?
I'm telling you, man.
Me and CP gonna have to venture into the upside down to save you in a few minutes? What's going on?
I don't know, man.
He's this close.
CP might have to call Angel. Angel might have to come to my crib because I don't know what's going on, man. I got to see what's going on. Like,
it's like it's like Ultra back there.
He's closing in, man.
You got Steve Aoki doing a set coming up.
I mean, I'm pretty high up here on the garden, so I don't know if I'm a fall. I don't know if I'm gonna jump into the screen. I don't know what's going on.
Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. CP Ashley Moss, JD Sports Talk here. Knicks post game live presented by Manscaped. Trying to have some fun after the Knicks got washed. 126-109. And you know, LB from Harlem say, you know, you can't sleep on any competition. And I don't think anybody really thought that, you know, this was a guaranteed victory by any stretch. You know, if you watch what the Cavs have done this year, as I said, they're a good team right now. They're showing to be a good team right now, well coached and playing hard, playing defense. And they didn't even have Kevin Love or marketing and Sexton left in the first half. So give credit to them because they beat our ass in home and they outplayed us. Played solid defense, and obviously every shot for them was falling. So, mid-show motivator up next on the Discord. Mid-show motivator, are you there? Mid-show. All right, looks like we didn't. Mid-show's not here. Matt Kaplan, you're gonna be up next, so get ready. We're gonna send mid-show back to the lounge. Matt Kaplan on the Discord. Matt Kaplan, what's up?
Yo, what's going on, guys?
Loud and clear. Let's go.
Good, man. Good. Just a few points I wanted to hit home. I don't want to take up too much of your time. A lot of guys were just talking about how, like, the second unit, they're pissed off how the second unit was pulled when we cut the lead to, I think, 6, I believe. Listen, at the end of the day, the difference between the second unit and the first unit was just a ball movement. IQ did such a good job in the point guard role.
Yeah, he did.
Just moving the ball around, and it really, really helped us. And that's something that our starters, our star players, need to do better of. There's such limited ball movement in that first unit, and it's pretty sad to watch. And it's a lot of Randall just getting the ISO ball on the weak side, and he's trying to make something happen, and then defense collapses on him, and then Evan is just running around trying to get the ball to bail him out, and then he passes it to RJ, and RJ is just shooting the ball with 2 seconds left in the shot clock, and it's not going to work that way,
Yep. I agree with you wholeheartedly, man. And that was the issue that I had with overall with, when Kemba gets off to those slow starts, because you're relying now on the ISO Julius plays. And at that point, I think Thibs needs to look at inserting RJ more as a playmaker earlier in the game, especially when the offense starts to sputter, because we're settling for too many isolation, one pass, one shot offense, and we're cold. We're ice cold right now because we're just not getting into a good rhythm.
100%. And I get we have more shooting, and I'm all for more shooting, but we have to give up good shots for great shots, and our shooters are not getting in a good position to get great shots at all. Evan's running around. He's not scoring up to the basket. RJ is not getting good looks. And so Julius has to either move his butt other than just doing lazy screens and just looking for the ball on the weak side, or let RJ maneuver the offense and dish it out for open looks. 100%.
All facts, man. Thanks for the call. Okay, go ahead. Get your last point again.
Just second point, and the more important point is the perimeter defense. And this isn't just like a small adjustment we have to make for next game, or it's just a mismatch this game. It's just like an atrocious thing that's happening. Since like the opening game to this, back from the Celtics opening game, you can make the case that our perimeter defense has just been terrible. And yeah, maybe it's a little bit has to do with Kemba and Evan, but a great defensive team plays as a team, and it's just so much one-on-one ball, and it's just not going to get it done no way. And I don't know what Thibs has to do, if it's rotations or just, more minutes to certain guys, but our perimeter defense is just terrible right now.
Well, it leaves a lot to be desired, man. Matt, thanks for the call, bro. All right, Noah on the Discord. You're going to be the last call of the Discord. Noah, go ahead and unmute your mic. Yo, you got to turn down your TV volume because I know you're trying to hear for your turn. So,
all right.
Ready to go?
I'm ready.
Yeah, let's go.
Give me 1 second. Hold on. I got this.
He says he's ready, then he says, give me 1 second. Hold on. Come on, man. Shot clock is ticking, fam. You live and direct. Let's go.
My bad, CP. How y'all doing? First and foremost, first-time callers. You know what I'm saying? I got to get used to this.
No doubt. And if you're on speakerphone, bro, please take it off of speakerphone.
I'm not on speakerphone. I'm actually calling through the Mac.
All right. Let's go.
I'm not on your level yet with the equipment yet. I'm getting
no doubt. Yeah.
But yeah, just wanted to say that like the rotation that we got going on, I get it that even your point you made before is that it's early in the season and everything like that. But I'm on Ashley's side, man. I think we got to give new looks. We got to give these other players a chance. And for sure, I'm also say this is Derrick Rose's team. You know what I mean? So I get it. Julius is the most talented, most improved, all this other stuff. But it's Derrick Rose's team at the end of the day. So I think we need more Derrick Rose leadership, and we need to switch it up. And the perimeter defense needs to straighten up ASAP.
Yeah.
ASAP.
Got to get right, man. Thanks for the call. Call back anytime, bro.
Yes, sir.
Cut him off, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think you pretty much echoed the sentiments that we all have. How did Rose do tonight? How did Rose do overall offensively? Started tonight 17-5. It's an efficient night for Rose. 8 of 14 from the field. And again, just defensively, the whole Rubio thing was nullified all of that. So again, the defense is where things have to improve by everyone. Okay, last call of the night. Appreciate everybody for calling in, tuning in, supporting. We still had over 1,000 people joining us, so thanks for joining in and weighing in on your opinions. We're gonna close. We didn't hear from Jay Boogie. Had some technical issues with Jay Boogie. Hopefully we'll get that fixed for the next show. But we'll close with Cynthia tonight. Cynthia, live and direct. What's going on? Oh.
Hey guys, how are you? Can you hear me?
Good. Yeah. Sound like you cooking. Sound like you cooking Sunday dinner right now, Cynthia. I'm hearing some pots and pans banging back there.
I am actually. I'm actually cooking for the dog.
Okay. All right. No doubt.
Believe it or not.
No doubt.
But guys, I just want to say great and excellent points by the squad and everyone. And like I said it at the very beginning, guys, when we were having the preseason show, Thibs to me has a lot to prove. I'm not throwing him under the bus. I respect him as a coach, but Ashley was on point 100%. JD and CP, you were too. You have to make adjustments. You know, where's the double team? Respect out to Rubio. You know, I'm not saying he's a flake or anything. You know, yes, he doesn't score too many 30-point games, but he is a professional. And if you don't sharp it up with the perimeter defense, you know, he's going to have those kind of games. And my question to you all is, I mean, we talked about it last year too, you know, besides the double teaming or even the strategic moves that he can make, will he give some burn to some other guys? I was shocked, to be honest, that I saw Grimes out there today. So I give him his little props for that, for putting in Grimes. But hey, try Jericho Sims. JD made an excellent point. Okay, we don't want to throw Jericho Sims if Embiid is walking all over him, but give the guy a chance. If you're not going to give the youngsters, if you're not sending them down to the G League, and you believe in learning and sitting in the bench, but give them some burn as well, because that's, I think, part of adjustments as well. So my question to y'all is, do you think that Thibs will do it? Do you think that anybody will whisper in Thibs' ear, whether it's the assistant coaches or Leon, like if he doesn't mix it up more or starts changing some things? Because we did look bad. I was always with you, CP and CK. I'm on the 46, 47 line. But hey, if the 50 burgers happen, I'll be happy. But I just think that Thibs needs to do, what he has to do. And hopefully he will listen and take it. So that's all. Good night, guys.
All right, Cynthia.
Thank you.
Take care. Take care. Thanks for the call, Cynthia, the new closer in the building. I think Ash and JD, I think the move, and I still think it'll be a couple more games, but if the same patterns exist, I think the move will ultimately be Burks' minutes coming down. My guy Burks for Grimes. I think it'll be Grimes. I still don't see McBride getting into the mix just yet. I think it'll be Grimes getting in at the expense of Burks' minutes. That's just a guess by me. What do you guys think?
It's going to be interesting.
I was gonna say,
to
say the least.
Right, because
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
That wasn't me, by the guys.
Yes,
by the way,
we know that. We know that. Ash. We know that.
It's going to be interesting because if the problem still persists, but they're winning, right, or they're a few games over 500. Is it going to happen? I don't know. Now you start losing some games, then there could be a sense of urgency to make some changes. And even if they go to Grimes over Burks, CP, are you really, really solving the issue? Because it's at point guard.
Yeah.
So unless you're going to do what he did tonight and you're going to be creative, you're going to allow Grimes to play some guards, some quicker guards, then you can make it work that way. But if you're going to play Grimes, but you're just having him out there, you're not really attacking the issue, then are we really going to address it by doing that?
Could be 48-2, bro.
It comes back to Thibs.
Could be 48-2, bro. We've seen plenty of fourth quarters where Fournier's not in the game. Could be 48-2. And putting Grimes in there and going with that Grimes RJ wing tandem. Because that's the future right there right now. Why not go with it? Do we have that future right now? Because when you put Burks as the backup point guard, Kemba's out and Rose is in, you could see the future of this franchise. They're still looking for that future. Who's going to be the future point guard? Will it be Deuce? We will find out. Could be Fournier as well. Could be Fournier. Ash, what do you think? Close us out.
Listen, just to summarize this whole thing, Defensively, there has to be better adjustments made. You can't go ahead and let a hot hand continue to cook. Offensively, we got to get back to that ball movement that made us, successful in the past. It's too much of a stagnant offense. It's too much relying on the 3 ball and not having a plan B. It's not enough constant movement, making those defenses dizzy, making them work to block our shots, to contest our shots. Julius Randle needs to go ahead and realize he is not the hero of this story, and he doesn't have to always save the day. Thibs has to realize sometimes your rotation that you're coming into the game with, it sounded good on paper. When it comes to the trials and tribulations of the actual game, it's just not going to work. It's not a knock on you. Happens to the best of them. Make the adjustments. You got to let the young guys cook. They're out there. The scouting report is not out on them yet. You got to give them some minutes. This is the time to go ahead and, manipulate and experiment with rotations. Do not dig yourself into a hole too deep that when you're looking at, after the Christmas Day, games, when you're looking after the All-Star break, that now you're in a severe problem that you can't get yourself out of. There's a lot of room for improvement still early in the season. Go ahead and make those improvements, because if we're having this conversation in January, we have some serious problems we got to look at.
Give Ash some 5s in the chat. That's a great way to.
It's a great close. Great close, Ash. Throw some 5s.
Not as good as Jay Boogie. I had to take a breath, but I tried my best.
That's a fact, man. Let me go ahead and hit our outro music and read the rest of the super chats. Oh, that's not it. There it is. All right, great show, everybody. Once again, obviously, we'll be back tomorrow night. Knicks versus the Sixers, 7 p.m. tip-off. So you know where to find us. Number 1 show for the fans by the fans. I want to shout out Jimmy Falston super chat says we have to do something with the point guard defense. We can't have every point guard having career nights and threes. Rich Harris super chat says Thibs doesn't base playing time on what's actually happening in the current game, but rather on his predetermined rotations. That's a problem. Junior Karoma says CP, I wouldn't panic that much because I've seen them actually shut down Giannis and that Bucks team in the fourth just a Friday night. I'm really past that Bucks game, Like I'm not one who got too high on that game. A lot of fans took something out of that, Ash. I really didn't, to be honest with you. I think
I'm over it.
I'm over it. Again, I think that they're the champs. They went deep into the season last year. Obviously, these guys are coasting. They're trying to pace themselves. The Freak had a knee injury. You had no Middleton. I take stock in that. You had no Brook Lopez. Their rim protection was completely missing. Knicks were still getting crushed. They were bombing away from 3. They came back. Monumental win, no question, but I don't take stock into who this Knicks team is. I'm with JD. I still think our identity has yet to be determined. Renoa D. Nick says, do you think Leon makes a trade for two-way play like Smart or Cam? I don't see the defense getting any better. I don't know. I don't see I don't see it. I mean, who knows? Is it Burks? Grimes isn't getting traded. McBride's not getting traded, but for Smart, this team doesn't have championship aspirations. I don't see them making that type of trade. You know what I mean? It's not a piece that kind of, is the glue to a championship run. I don't see it. Aaron Vasquez says, I would like to focus on the good things, namely the brand new studio. Looking well done, CP. Aaron Vasquez, appreciate it. He says, hashtag no defense, no burgers. I like that.
No defense,
no defense, no burgers. Gotcha. Open says Knicks got a way better record, got a better away record than home. Got to defend home better. Daniel Mejia says last year we gave up mad open threes and teams are missing. Now teams are making them and we got to adjust. I also think our rotations last year were still a little bit better. Yeah, we were giving up open threes, and that's a chance you take. Bucks defense plays that way as well. But this year we're just not connected. We're just not connected. Who else? Heck Brizo. He says, Julius, the best thing since sliced bread. More Obi, please. All right, James Nunn. Mon says, I expected a low seed in the East, but with the East being even better than expected, our defense and discipline much worse, we're in trouble. I got that one ready. All right, let me hit the refresh button real quick. I see a couple more have come in. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Let's get those likes up before we bounce. Ash, how many likes we got? Let's get those likes up before
let me see. Let me refresh this page real quick, because sometimes it doesn't update. We have 424 likes.
Yeah.
12 dislikes. Those must be Cavaliers fans.
Yeah, or pissed off Knicks fans.
Or Nets fans just being trolls.
Yeah,
and the nightly Hawks fan.
And the nightly Hawks fans and Raptors fans, because they're in here heavy as well, man.
The one Raptors fan in America.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Nice to see you. Is it Drake? Drake, is that
Drake?
I'm sorry I said CLB wasn't as good as Don to Drake. Take the dislike back, bro.
Oh.
It's not that deep.
I got to see the Kanye Drink Champs interview. That was pretty.
Oh,
Yeah, it was alright.
sensational.
Yeah, it was alright. Actually, I enjoyed it. You know, and Nori didn't get too geeked. You know, in Drink Champs, sometimes by the second hour, Nori's so drunk he starts geeking and over talking his guests, and sometimes you can't even listen to it. It was good.
What kills me about that whole thing, this is totally off subject, but the part of the interview where Kanye is talking about how the biggest mistake he ever made was signing Big Sean, and then Nori goes, "Wow, that's amazing. Clap it up." And Ty's like, "No. I said the worst thing I ever done." He's like, "Yo, I thought you said the best." Okay, yo, Nori, stop drinking, bro.
Yeah, Nori, spaced out sometimes, man. But yeah, it was a good interview. Definitely a good interview. What happened here, man? Trying to read my super chats and YouTube just hit me with something. All right, Paul Collins sent the super chat. He says, great close, Ash. Much love to Knicks Nation. Got to get the grill fired up tomorrow, JD. Andrew Nash says, Tom's annoying with these rotations. He says he's annoying with those rotations. Obi was cooking, and Tom is so fixated on having Julius out there. Just how he's quick with the young players. He needs to be quick to take out Julius as well. And people looking for that accountability. Hoodies Vintage, my guy Hoodies Vintage says, tough loss, terrible defense, stubborn coaching, start subbing earlier and start riding the hot hand. What does Obi have to play for? What does Obi have to do to play more? # free RJ. Shout out my guy Hoodies Vintage. All right, any more super chats before we go? Outlaw
Is that
comedian.
the guy who goes hootie tootie tootie tootie?
No.
That
Nah, that's not him. Hoodies Vintage, he's a season ticket holder. He's always at the Garden with some fresh gear, always with the vintage Knicks gear. I think he's probably the best dressed Knicks fan there is. Real talk.
I'm the best dressed Knicks fan there is.
I'm talking about with Knicks apparel, Ash. Knicks apparel.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure
Never
you're
mind.
stylish. You know what I mean? I know you in your bag, but I'm talking about with Knicks apparel.
Just thank you for clarifying.
Yeah. Just to clarify, Knicks apparel. Yeah, he's second to none, man. Outlaw comedian says Miles Turner, Ricky Rubio. Next, Matisse Thybulle dropping 40. # book it. # help me. # keep hope for the 50 burger. And I think that is it for the super chats, man. Dimitri D sent a $10 super chat. Says, how long will it take for Thibs to really make an adjustment to the lineup? He played the same lineup throughout the year last year. Will he let his ego get to him and repeat again? Bench saves us. Outlaw comedian, thanks for super chat again. And the J Caleb shirt, so remix, go Rubio, go. LOL. All right, I think I got them all. Jetnikov Bicycle Company from Australia sends Australian super chat. Says this game got me tight. We don't need to change much to get locked in, but the lack of effort and team chemistry on defense is really lacking. Christian Zapata says 44K subs and we not stop until a milli. Let's go. Stand clear the closing doors, please. # get Esteban out the bing bong. All right, so shout out to Charlie and his crew. Always holding us down, man.
When that freaking Bing Bong thing went like media, just like generic, it became bad luck. Stop saying it.
It became bad juju, man. It became
bad juju. Stop saying it.
Yeah, I got off that bandwagon quick, fast, in a hurry. It became bad juju for us.
And shout out to Papa Left. He tweeted me out tonight. He said, no burger tonight. Buns on deck for the defense.
Pause.
Super pause. That's a fact, Ash. And yeah, man, you guys know the vibes already. Number one show for the fans, by the fans, KnicksFanTV, presented by Manscaped. Remember, these shows are available in audio podcast format. The links for tonight's show will be available on KnicksFanTV.com, so you can check back in a few hours, and it'll be there in about an hour or so. And then also, always remember to go to KnicksFanTV.com to check out our player ratings. Player ratings are back exclusively on KnicksFanTV.com. KnicksFanTV, Remy writes those up. Player ratings for every player, game breakdowns. His writing is exceptional, so make sure you guys go check that in the AM. All right, so for Ashley, JD, we out of here, people. Great show as usual. Dave, great show. See you guys tomorrow.